This Beesmas is themed around all of these new blooms that are in every single field, and when you do kill or get whatever, you do get petals around them, and these petals give pretty crazy buffs, as you do see. For example, white pollen and unique instant conversion for everyone, but the only stat that changes is the first one, and depending whatever color of leaves you do get is the power up you do get from it too, such as this one being for white flowers giving white pollen. And so many of these spawn literally everywhere, and you are probably wondering, well, how do these blooms work? How do they spawn fast? How to even spawn them fast? How to get different ones? How to get a certain one? Because these blooms are probably going to be used in this Beesmas's meta, and not even probably, because these are so crazy, and if you time it right and spawn them during scorching start or gummy start or anything, and even while you're macroing, you are going to make way more honey, because this is basically the old jelly beans V2, but this time way better. And I will also be explaining other things as well in this Beesmas, such as Honey Day actually coming out tomorrow, if you are wondering, on Saturday. Same with all the Bee Bear quests, which is really exciting. But also, if you don't see most of the Robux bundles, that is because your country doesn't allow gambling, so the only thing you can buy is to choose a mythic egg, because that's everything guaranteed, and everything else, because it has eggs, it's not allowed to be there, which means you do need a VPN. And as well, quickly, for the offline voucher and stuff, this is basically permanent, but it does reset after 24 hours, but that is per logout. So if you play Beeswarm for 20 hours, let's say, and hop off for 1 hour is going to go down from the 24 hours if you log out, but when you log back in, it's not going to go down until you logged out again. So that is actually amazing, which is maybe more than OP. And the ticket voucher can also be redeemed once per day, gives you a maximum of 100 tickets, but yeah, it is kind of, for the first time ever, you can trade items with this. But anyway, going back to the really OP blooms, you are probably wondering how to get them fast and everything, and On It did explain it over here first, so let me show you that, because On It said here is how the blooms work. Similar to puffs, you have 20 seconds to pop them, so yeah, they are really similar to PUFFSHROOMS, and if you do, they do respawn at a higher level somewhere else on the field, which is, as you're seeing over here, I'm killing these, and I just killed another one, and I just killed another one over here, so it just keeps respawning, basically, is how it should work, but you just gotta kill it as fast as you can, so it keeps respawning. But it will be a higher level, as you are seeing, because I just went from like level 4 to level 7, and over here, another level 7, now a level 6, so yeah, basically like PUFFSHROOMS. And after a minute from when it first spawned, it will stop respawning though, so if you are wondering why it's not working anymore, that's probably why. And also, as you do see, there's all these different petals on the leaves, because depending on what color the field actually is the petals it gives, and I will give all possible petals from every single field in a second, so wait on that if you are wondering which one to grind and which one is the best. And different fields have different rates for petal colors, literally as I just said. Different times of day it proves rates on certain fields, lower others. So for example, daytime it goes crazy with sunflower field, because this one I always get so many, but maybe at a different point blue flower will be better right before nighttime or some, for example. And On It did also say that every once in a while multiple blooms will spawn at the same time. And oh my god, also as well, I do want to say blue flower is so OP and so good, because I just found bubble pollen. So yeah, this basically also buffs literally every single hive, since blue hive has blue pollen, bubble pollen 2 times by the way, and also critical chance inside of pine tree, and blue flower. So even if you're macroing, as you see over here, and you macro collects it, boom, you get ×2 bubble pollen mid boost, bro, or mid macro. Insane. Like, that's actually crazy. This is literally the meta, the most insane new buffs, jelly beans V2 but on steroids, as you are watching right now. So imagine just macroing right now, and this does go to 100x as well. So yeah, this is actually insane. I'm getting extremely lucky as well with all the blooms, but as you are seeing, it does keep respawning. So yeah, you just gotta get lucky with them to spawn at first. But if you do want them to spawn at first as well, and there are none in the field, I do recommend using the bloom shaker over here, because this bloom shaker actually spawns it instantly. I don't know if I have it in my inventory yet. I do not, but I will get it soon, because I'll just buy it. And now as well, for all the stats every single petal gives, so as I did say though, spider food, for example, crazy for white hive, it does give ×2 markability pollen and white pollen stuff. But anyway, let me actually show you every single buff, so you know. As you do see, yeah, periwinkle petal, for example, and this is going to be the periwinkle collar on them, is the best way to say it, really. It's so satisfying just collecting these. Anyway, as you see, it does give mythic bee pollen and 50% in unique instant conversion. All these have unique instant conversion at the end, or as the last stat. So yeah, the marigold one only gives unique instant conversion. The yellow petal gives tall pollen ×2 of it, which is crazy. And if you do stack it to 100x, it's probably like a 4x maybe, or even a 3x really, I'm gonna be honest. The scarlet petal gives flame pollen, so that is really OP, because it is actually inside of pepper patch. So red hive's got a crazy buff, as you do see, with flame pollen and red pollen just spawning there automatically without you having to even spawn it. So mid boost will be insane if you use the bloom shaker during a gummy start or a scorching start, as I said, even as blue, to be honest, if you're blessing boosting. But for the white petal, petal, of course, it gives white pollen that mostly just spawns inside of here. I will show all spawns in a second though. For anyone wondering where to get every gray petal, we do have ×2 markability pollen, which is insane, and that is in spider field, and that is the gray one. Then we have black petal, and that is ×2 bomb pollen. So that isn't really much inside of pine, but sometimes is if your RNG is good, and I will show you in a second on the stat list. The pink petal gives ×2 bee gather. By the way, it's so broken. Like, actually, that's literally the meta, bro. Cyan petal gives bubble pollen. That is literally the meta for blue hives, not going to lie. People might cook up some devious hives, potentially even switch where they macro if there's a guaranteed one, such as blue flower has it literally guaranteed. So yes, and pine tree, from my knowledge, has a pretty rare chance for it. So who knows what the new macro people will do on blue. We'll see. Blue petal, of course, gives more blue pollen. As I said, this is literally jelly beans on steroids. Then we do also have the green petal given critical chance, the violet petal given 5% super crit chance, which is actually insane. That is automatically and basically every single time inside a clover. So just imagine a little cloverfield boost over here would be pretty crazy, but yeah. Then you do have the red one being red pollen, and also you do have the green petal given critical chance, but I think I've shown that already. For anyone wondering, coconut being mostly white petals, gray, pink, green, and cyan. Pepper patch being mostly scarlet petals, so the red one, actually no, that's literally scarlet, then green and pink, and I'm pretty sure scarlet is the flame pollen one. Sunflower field is mostly yellow petals and often marigold petals. Green, pink, rare is white hive one. Mushroom is red petals, white petals, green petals, black petals, and violet petals, and violet one is the insane one. So if you do get a chance for that, that's crazy. Then we do also have dandelion being mostly white petals, black petals, green petals, and gray petals. Cloverfield being mostly green petals and really often violet petals, as I was talking about before. Blue flower field over here, we do have mostly white petals, cyan, and blue petals, so that's the really OP bubble one. Then we have bamboo, mostly blue petals, white petals, often violet petals, but you do also get green, yellow, and black ones here, so that is actually pretty crazy. Spider, we do have mostly white petals, black petals, green, red, and gray. Gray one is really OP with markability, so yeah, white hive did get a buff, but all hives got a buff if you really think about it, because it's insane. Strawberry has mostly red, pink, white petals, and green, and rare is the violet one. Rosefield over here has red, but sometimes black and scarlet petals, which is kind of tough as well. Cactus over here has green, black, red, and blue petals. Pumpkin has green, gray, yellow, and cyan petals. Pine tree over here has mostly blue and often green petals, and the rare one being the black petal, so I don't think the bubble one is actually here, which is kind of crazy. Then we do have mountaintop right up there, red petals, blue petals, pink, black, and white petals, which is actually crazy, I'm not going to lie. Pineapple patch, we have yellow petals, cyan petals, white, violet petals. So pineapple is actually OP. I might have to do a boost in there or something. I do feel like pro players may start boosting in different fields, finding out new metas and stuff with these petals, because these are literally, as I said, jelly beans on steroids. Stump, we do have blue petals and often cyan petals, and green, violet, and gray. So I'm not going to lie, Stump is going to be insane. If people could try macro that, maybe it would be crazy, but the thing is, the capacity is really low because pine cones are only in pine. It's not exactly in any other field, which is why pine is so strong. Then we do also have ant field, mostly red, blue, and white petals, and boom. And it did say as well he will be watching the stats and everything, but I'm gonna be real, bro, this is already so crazy. At this point, he may as well just keep all stats. These are actually insane. These are probably the most broken things ever. Once again, who spawned them? If you are still wondering or don't know how to get them in the field, you're just gonna grind in the field and wait until they spawn, really. That is the only way you can do it if you aren't doing the bloom shaker and spawning them instantly with this over here. So basically, let's just say you are blue hive or literally during your boost or anything and you're macroing. As you see, you will pick up blooms like this. You don't even gotta stand under it for that long. Just once go under it and boom, which your macro will do that usually. And as you do see over here, they're just spam spawning in pine right now for me, but they will stop spawning soon and basically just start spawning again later on. The only thing is that your macro might not get down here. So yeah, because they do go all around the field, not only over here where you usually macro, but that is kind of, you know what I'm saying. And during your boost, you will probably have to spawn the bloom shaker or anything if you are during a gummy star or things like that. But currently, all you're gonna do while you're boosting is whenever you do get them, just go under the petals as fast as possible and you will collect them. That is literally all you gotta do. Or if you're grinding for quests, then you can boost the field up a little and go to all the fields that you really need. So yes, that is another really good one. And I hope that has helped though with what field to grind in for what petals and everything. It has been, this update in my opinion is one of my favorite updates, maybe even top 2, because I'm just loving the petal system on it. You definitely done your thing, bro. You got it. But either way, I will be streaming me doing the Beesmas quest if anyone is wondering, so make sure you guys will be there and let me know what you guys think about this update too and what you need help with mostly.